Welcome everyone to the Invasion of Godzilla by Jacob Animation. Now this is gonna be similar to Shin Godzilla, but a bit different twists. Let's enjoy what's gonna be the first season of the Invasion of Godzilla. I'll be doing the perspective one after this one. Let us begin with the Invasion of Godzilla. Monster Discovery. Hello,
Welcome to Monster Discovery.
Hi.
We are an organization that searches for and researches unique creatures around the world, even monsters.
Like Monarch?
This organization has been built since 1984, and we have managed to discover and research tens of thousands of species of rare creatures and strange creatures around the world. However, on October 25, 1993, precisely in the North Atlantic Ocean, we managed to make our biggest and most mysterious discovery. In the depths of the North Atlantic Ocean, we find creature that's shaped like dinosaur with spines shaped like leaves on its backs, which are numerous and appear to be glow.
Oh.
Its skin has the texture of crocodile skin covered in Its teeth are sharp and it has long claws. The creature is estimated to be almost 328 feet long. Our team succeeded in taking some photos of this creature. When we started to take a peek of it, it starts to move and avoid our spotlight. However, strangely, we found dozens of canisters of radioactive waste discarded on the seabed, but which appeared to have been damaged by large bites. We speculate that it's likely that these creatures ate the radioactive waste. So far, this is our best discovery. A cruise ship carrying 1142 people sank on November 3rd yesterday. There are no confirmed reports as to how and as a result the cruise ship sank.
Damn.
According to police information, of 1142 passengers, they only managed to find 831 bodies. However, one passenger was found on the top deck of the ship safe and unharmed. The passenger was still in a state of shock and did not want to say a word. She was rescued and taken to safety. The teams are still searching for the bodies of the passengers and finding out the cause of this incident. Residents around Rockaway Beach told how on the night the cruise ship sank, they heard strange sounds from the sea. One of the local residents managed to record the sound and captured the mysterious figure who was caught at night.
That's something big down there.
Damn. The time has come.
The time has come. Come for what?
But what did you see on the cruise ship?
When we entered the lower cabin of the ship appeared to be melting. No, not because there was a fire at all. There was no sign of fire other than in the upper cabin. When we checked all the rooms in the cabin, everyone inside melted together. Paper bodies are fused together with each other and objects around them. I don't know how that happened. The only fire spot was in the upper cabin. That's strange too, as if a meteor had penetrated the upper body of the ship. Man, on the right side of the lower left body of the ship, there's a large claw like a lion's claw accompanied by what looks like a body part attached to the scratch. It was like a big, thick black thorn that was bleeding.
Okay.
What did you see, Ashley?
On that occasion, I was at the bottom of the ship's edge, leaving my friends who had gone out for dinner. But what I remember, a few minutes before the incident, people were cheering names of things like... I don't know. Not long after that, the ship felt hit by something and people started screaming. Things in the ship started to fall on me. I was buried in my unable to get out of the room and see what was happening. But I remember clearly there was something big passing by my window, but that wasn't it. I remember there was a big white laser that seemed to hit the ship. The moment I saw that light from the window, my eyes felt like they were going to explode. The atmosphere in the room became so hot. I felt like I was going to explode. Air felt poisonous and tight. And I fainted. I don't know what that light is. But the light was so hot that the entire ship felt like it was going to melt. Even the air felt poisonous when that light appeared.
That's the big one. Oh Lord, he coming. He coming to beat your ass. Look at that kid. He's so big. Shut the fuck up and stop screaming. It's fine. Just fine. It's not the best. Not gonna do this. Not gonna hit you with a Well, shit, you probably just did.
A large creature suddenly came from the North Atlantic Ocean and attacked New York. This creature has pushed its way through Brooklyn quickly and now is around Manhattan. And we can see earlier that military troops are getting ready to attack this creature.
Is it gonna multiply?
Has tried everything to kill this monster. However, all these attacks did not make it stop at all. The military made this monster fall due to a bomb explosion, but it got back up and counterattacked all the military troops. Previously, it had eaten around 7 nuclear reactors around the city. We don't know what he's going to do now that the monster direction is turning back towards New York again.
That's not disturbing at all.
last night. It was reported that hundreds of other people disappeared and were taken to hospital. Meanwhile, the creature has returned to the North Atlantic Ocean, eating dozens of nuclear reactors in the U.S.
After the creature attacked US and killed hundreds of people that day, we start to dig up information about that monster. This is possibly the same creature that we found in the North Atlantic. The origins of it. However, looking at the radiation waste it consumes under the sea, it seems to suggest that this creature did not come to land to kill humans, but it is to consume the nuclear reactors in the vicinity. This creature seems to be able to detect the presence of a nuclear reactor, eat it and then return to the ocean. But why eat a nuclear reactor? This creature seems to have mutated due to nuclear waste that is around it. It eats it, and mutates and must continue to eat nuclear material for the development of the creature. But we can't let it go. Over time, the creature can become bigger, and will get stronger. We are still trying to find out its origins and how to defeat this creature. However, we are sure, in the future, this creature will come back to land to hunt for nuclear reactors. Just be prepared and stay safe.
Welcome to W70.
1 month ago, the creature that we call Godzilla has attacked us. Thousands of lives have been killed by this creature's anger. Dozens of nuclear reactors in America have been eaten by Godzilla, releasing nuclear radiation in the surrounding areas. Godzilla's laser attack not only causes damage by burning cities and splitting buildings, but also causes high levels of radiation which pollutes the area around the laser attack. As a result, tens, or even thousands of people were rushed to hospital and even died due to exposure to high levels of radiation resulting from radiation from Godzilla's laser.
Damn.
Godzilla returns to the ocean after leaving the chaos here. However, we are sure that
He's
at
like,
any
yeah,
time
I'm
Godzilla
fucking
will
done.
return to land
Fuck
again
you,
to
okay.
consume a nuclear reactor during his growth period.
Bye for loved ones. Otherwise. Don't have much time left. Oh. Yeah, radiation can be a bitch. Not only because of radiation exposure. Wait, huh? But to suffer the next threat. What is the next threat? Something like it. Something like it. Vehicle market.
Did you know that the food sold near you may have been exposed to the radiation produced by Godzilla? In the current worrying situation, you have to be careful about what you consume. Especially, meat. According to reports from animal health institutions, around 50% of livestock have been contaminated by the radiation produced by Godzilla. What are the impacts of consuming meat or other foods contaminated by high levels of radiation? The risks are cancer, cell damage, and other things. The radioactivity released by Godzilla contaminates the grass and livestock start to eat it. And the results of milk from cows exposed to radiation have resulted in hundreds of people being rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, hundreds of other people were rushed to the hospital due to eating meat from animals exposed to high levels of radiation and eating fruit that was also contaminated with radiation. You don't want that to happen to you. Right?
Maybe. Want to use to someone on purpose.
So buy our product. The animals that we develop are free from diseases and radiation. We take good care of all the animals we breed and we guarantee they will not make you sick like other traders. So do our dairy products, our vegetables, and our fruit. And we still recommend that you always wash and cook our products as thoroughly as possible before you eat them.
Be alert to new threats around you. Lock the doors of your house. Close all the windows and don't forget to close your curtains. Always be alert and always keep your weapon with you wherever you go. If you want to leave the house, bring your weapon and always be alert. And most importantly, wear your mask so you don't get exposed to radiation from Godzilla. If you find someone out there or inside your house starting to get dizzy, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches, can't control their saliva, please take them to the hospital as soon as possible. All these symptoms are accompanied by the following signs.
Okay, skin mask. Eye shot. Deformed pieces. Yeah, no, kill him.
Or if they are difficult to control and aggressive, immediately find a room to hide and call an ambulance. This also applies to you. If you experience the symptoms we mentioned earlier, immediately go to the hospital. Or if you are starting to lose your sanity, lock yourself somewhere, so as not to hurt others. Please be alert and implement what we have just said. More than 30 people reported that outsiders or their family members began to lose their sanity and began brutally attacking their family members. We are still trying to find out what caused it. Stay safe.
They look like Godzilla hype. Martha Diary. Restore diary page from right. Our house has been destroyed. We have lost everything. We decided to move to our dad's side of Dad's state doesn't like that now. Well, at least we got a hero. That's good. But one day my dad lost. Uh-oh. Really bad. One week passed, my dad became I live at being have red dad gets well soon. I hope so, kid. That's your dad. He needs to save more people. But the hospital around it is not so full. They got me happy. Decided to go back to work. Did not we were surprised by scary sounds from Dad's room. We found Dad attacking Mom. Uh-oh. I don't know what he thought to see whatever. Then I went into the room and locked the door. Not so long, my father started banging on the door. It doesn't sound like a funeral. It sounds like a rapid death. My sister and I ran into the closet. I called the police. They picked it up and they were sent home. We only see her final message. She might don't succeed, at least I can catch up and bring on the message. Aww. Okay, she's running for it. Godspeed, kiddo. I don't think we made it. Ooh. Yeah, she got eaten by her own dad. Damn.
We have research citizens who are infected with a mysterious virus that is spreading around the United States. After researching more deeply,
we find that this is not a virus, but this occurs due to radiation from Godzilla, which causes several people to mutate. When Godzilla's laser attacks Chicago and its surroundings, it gives off such a huge amount of radiation. People who are exposed to radiation will begin to mutate within 2 weeks to become like Godzilla. What also needs to be paid attention to is that livestock, food, and drink are also exposed and can make anyone who eats them mutate. However, this applies if the food is exposed to high levels of Godzilla radiation. So all these things are not viruses, but the result of Godzilla's radiation, which slowly makes your body mutate. This radiation is not ordinary radiation like nuclear radiation. This is more than nuclear radiation. So, to avoid this, keep wearing a mask and pay attention to what you eat. We recommend not eating meat in this worrying situation. And we always remind you to lock your doors, your windows, and close your curtains. Because many mutated people are roaming around the city, and we are in the process of trying to catch them all.
These are the exterminating Godzillas are now more dangerous than ever because they have paved aggressive humans. My best advice is to kill them all. Okay, he's at a grocery store. Evelyn, what's normal to say the least? Nothing. That's gonna change very soon when we find something inside this we never found. The pet says, idiot in aisle 1, you're about to be fucking dead. Aisle 1, you're fucking dead. Please get the fuck out of the property. Okay, that's about fresh. Hey, can someone turn that up? We got a customer coming in tomorrow, and I don't want to get my ass fired because of your guys' incompetence. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Natural virology.
Stage 1.
Okay.
The patient feels headache, nausea, vomiting, and aches all over the body. In this stage, the patient is still sane. Stage 2. The patient begins to lose consciousness, often groans and scratches themselves. Their eyes started to turn red. All over the surface of their skin there were red bruises with small bumps on their backs. Stage 3. The patient has completely lost consciousness. The character begins to become aggressive, drooling is uncontrolled, the skin turns pale to gray, the bulge behind the back begins to enlarge. In this stage, patients begin to try to attack and eat humans. Stage 4. The patient's body structure begins to change. A thorn resembling Godzilla's spine emerged from their back. They move nimbly and walk using their hands and feet due to their body structure starting to mutate. Nature has become very uncontrollable and very destructive.
Yeah.
Despite their uncontrollable nature, you need to be reminded that these mutated people are smart enough to find a way to get into your house or hide in the bushes to attack their prey. Even in stage 1 or 2, there is no way to treat the patient. There is no way to stop the growth of this mutation even if you use any special treatment. The only way to stop them is to kill them. Meanwhile, there have been several cases of people eating food exposed to Godzilla radiation but not mutating. But as a side effect, the food they eat will start to rot and transform into something that we are still trying to investigate. Symptoms are headache, excruciating pain in the stomach and rectum, vomiting blood, and when defecating there is blood and red clots accompanied by sharp spines. Several operations succeeded in removing the food from the stomach, but most died from pain in the stomach and rectum. It was said by several doctors that the food turned into lumps of flesh that consumed the inside of the victim's body. Most of these cases occurred because the patient ate meat exposed to the very dangerous Godzilla radiation. That's why we recommend not eating meat in these worrying conditions. According to the following data, this is Godzilla's radiation exposure that spread throughout the area. We must isolate the city with the highest radiation exposure from other areas. Because we are afraid that the mutated people will start roaming around the city.
Yeah.
We have to check the health of residents around the highest radiation areas one by one. If, according to our checks, the person starts showing these symptoms, we have to kill him. Likewise, for patients who are rushed to hospital due to the symptoms of this mutation, we ask the hospital to check the data and kill the patient before something undesirable happens.
Undesirable happens. Guy again.
After 4 days of operations to eradicate mutated people, we have succeeded in eradicating 154 mutated people roaming the city and 93 others in hospitals. However, we think there are still many more out there who are still roaming the streets to save themselves from this extermination operation. Meanwhile, radiation exposure throughout New York is still very high, as is the case in the surrounding areas.
My neighbor's been shouting frequently for 3 days. I tried checking his house, but he wouldn't let me enter it. Other neighbors had also approached him, but he didn't do anything to them.
They're just screaming. Just let him be. He's probably in pain.
I tried calling the police to go check his house, but they said they didn't see anybody inside the house. This is very strange, because every night I hear there's activity in the house. This has been going on for a week, and I'm getting more and more worried about what's going on, considering he is a new neighbor in this complex. I'm afraid that this man is someone from around New York who moved here and has mutated. Many of my friends said that many of their new neighbors who they suspected were mutated people were trying to save themselves from the operation to exterminate mutated people. What the hell? call.
fucking ugly with it. Look, you're even uglier with it. What the fuck? Oh. I thought about that, like the other color, the side.
by what the public is calling the Godzilla virus in and Brooklyn. More than dozens of people reported attacks from the infected person. Some survived the attack, but most did not. Considering how many people have been infected by the Godzilla virus, and its numbers are increasing and killing and injuring thousands of people, we cannot be silent about it. So, the police in the operation try to catch all the infected people before they injure or even kill people. However, it is not only the case of the Godzilla virus, which has claimed the lives of thousands of people, but also people are starting to go crazy. Stressed and afraid due to the attack by Godzilla, which has taken their families. As a result, thousands of people roam the streets, carrying sharp objects or guns and killing people around them. Godzilla's attack did not only cause one disaster, but caused dozens of other disasters. Even in a difficult situation like this, don't give up and don't feel alone. We're all here for you. We can fight all this together.
Sir, please get out of the way. We are in an emergency situation.
We have researched more deeply about Godzilla apart from examining cases of people who were mutated due to Godzilla's radiation. Apart from Godzilla being able to make people mutate and turn into monsters, it has other abilities that we have recently learned about. When Godzilla attacks the city with its laser beam, the laser is so hot, it even burned its own mouth. Fragments of flesh that were burned and melted by its own laser beam were separated from its body and could live on their own. Meanwhile, when Godzilla was about to return to the sea, Godzilla grew bigger, shedding its old skin. But this is a new threat to us, because Godzilla's skin, flesh and spines are not dead. They are all alive and in a few months will start to grow big, grow heads, hands, feet, and so on, before finally turning into Godzilla itself. This is called mitosis, where cell division produces two daughter cells with the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. Godzilla is able to do this with its flesh. Even a small fragment of its flesh can grow into another Godzilla. However, what we find from the Godzillas is that the results of Godzilla's flesh being peeled off, they are still very weak. However, you still have to be alert because they move quite quickly and aggressively. Their only ability is to bite, eat or envelop their prey in their body contents. These little Godzillas often cover places that are safe for them. They often invade damaged buildings, damp and cold places. They consume humans, animals and carrion. They prefer to eat animals and infect them. Because the Godzillas are still growing, their bodies are soft and easily fall off if they are scratched by something. We found a solution to eradicate them. The only thing is to burn them, or dissolve them in strong fluoroantimonic acid, that way stopping the invasion of these little Godzillas. Many people report seeing this Godzilla around the city. Dozens of people even reported being attacked and seeing Godzilla, killing people. Apart from the process of eradicating people who have been mutated by Godzilla, we are also in the operation to eradicate these little Godzillas before they turn into Godzillas again, which will become an even bigger threat.
Okay, so the...
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
Uh-oh, he's gonna change. I
need help! Help me!
Yeah, it's not happening.
No! No!
Whoa, the spreading is getting bad. I think it'll get worse over time. Yeah. You another motherfucker. You know that? You fucking creepy looking bitch. Operation
On July the 1st, 1946, the U.S. carried out an atomic bomb testing operation. The operation was named Operation Crossroads, a program to investigate the effects of nuclear blasts on Navy vessels. The operation was carried out at Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands of the Central Pacific, carried out from July the 1st, 1946 to July the 25th, 1946. The first bomb detonated was the Able bomb. However, when the explosion occurred, the U.S. Navy, who were at a distance from the explosion, heard a sound. Another sound besides the bomb explosion. We speculate that this might be the sound of a whale, or similar large animal being blasted by the powerful explosion of the Able bomb. After the explosion ended, we waited several hours before finally sailing our ship towards the ships that were the test results of the Able bomb attack. However, one of the experimental ships was covered in bloody flesh. Plus, there was a large scratch on the ship's hull, like a lion's big paw. We don't have a clue what that is. It could have been blood from a whale, and the explosion caused damage to the ship's hull, which happened to be shaped like a lion's paw. On July the 25th, 1946, this was the last day of Operation Crossroad. We prepare everything and get ready to detonate the second bomb called the Baker bomb. After the explosion was over, we checked again on the ships that were used for experiments. There were no strange signs like what happened when the Able bomb exploded. The military packed up their things and sailed back to the U.S. However, on the way back to the U.S., the crew heard something from the sea. The sound was similar to the sound of a large animal screaming when an Able bomb exploded. At first, the crew ignored it and speculated it was just a whale. However, it wasn't a whale or anything else we know of. The voice comes from a huge creature we never see. The creature is shaped like a dinosaur with spines behind its back. There were fresh wounds all over its body that were still bleeding. The creature was almost half the size of the ship. The creature damaged the ship's hull and began attacking the crew by trying to climb onto the ship's hull. The creature claimed the lives of 29 crew members. While the creature was blindly trying to sink the ship, we attacked it with a gun. But the gun didn't work very well. We also threw missiles at it, which then injured the creature so that it fell back into the sea.
Wow.
That night, all the crew members were on guard in case the creature was still alive and would attack them again. However, fortunately the ship managed to sail to the U.S. without being attacked again by the creature. They believe that the creature was most likely killed by the missile attack. November the 30th, 1978, San Francisco, Ocean Beach. In the afternoon, at quiet Ocean Beach, the creature returned to land. But the shape is no longer the same.
The creature's form was much different from before compared to its form in 1946. Its body was upright and its body was much taller than before, reaching a height of 30 meters. The creature began attacking housing near the beach. The military tried their best to fight the creature. After half an hour of trying as hard as they could to fight the creature, we throw bombs at the creature. The bombs managed to hurt the creature. In pain, the creature crawled back into the sea. Several residents have died as a result of attacks by these creatures. In order not to worry the people, the government completely covered up cases of attacks by these creatures. But a week later, a photo of the creature was leaked to the public. However, residents only believed it was a hoax. But the question, what is that creature? Was the creature that attacked the U.S. ship the same creature that attacked San Francisco? If so, how could the creature survive various military attacks? This document was recorded in 1985. We don't know whether at any time the creature will return, or not. But the only thing we can do is be prepared if at any time the creature comes back.
My family and I are not careful in situations like this. Considering that all food and other items are expensive due to that creature's attacks, we try to look for affordable food nearby. The only thing we can buy is canned. We have to save our money to survive the next day. Until one day, Mom and Dad got a newspaper advertisement selling meat and other necessities at affordable prices. They bought it, but we are not alert. In times like these, people deceive each other for their own selfish interests. Me and my family ate that food, that contaminated by that shitty creature. The next day, when I peed and defecated, it was always accompanied by blood. So does my family. We have terrible headaches. It felt like something was moving in my stomach and breathing with me. And blood kept coming out from my nose and ears. We went to the hospital, but Mom and Dad died. The creature eats up their organs. I'm so thankful I survived. This is a lesson for all of us. In situations like this, be careful. Think carefully, because our lives are at stake for every small action in a...
You go look in the basement.
Music so become now since you know, compromise. Ugh. Oh my God. Oh God. It was a Balamonte.
Godzilla meat is found around mainland Sweden and its surrounding areas. According to local residents, they had found the lump of flesh for 1 week but did not know that it was a big red. The flesh was so large and covered the outside of the
Godzilla attack of the time. More creatures.
trying to destroy all the Godzilla flesh that is scattered around the sea. And this process is very risky and takes a long time.
It's time
in the UK,
to fight back.
Brazil and
All prices of goods in the U.S. and even throughout the world rose due to Godzilla's attack, and its radiation which spread throughout the world and infected livestock, plants, and others. As a result, hundreds of people have died due to the famine that has hit the whole world. Meanwhile, others died as a result of eating food sold by small shops that sell unhygienic food and sell it to customers cheaply. The police are still trying to arrest the sales of food that is not free from Godzilla radiation.
Oh shit. Is this a found footage? Oh shit, it is. Okay. What we got? Oh, no fast fights. No fast fights. That is death sentence 101 there. Right now it's animating. Don't you know what to say? Don't try to fight it. You know the consequences. No go. Oh shit. Damn! He's the best to fuck his head off.
We already know that Godzilla radiation can make humans mutate. But animals can also mutate too. According to police and civilian reports, more than 50 people reported being attacked by mutated animals. The nature of the animals changed to become aggressive, uncontrollable, and acted like rabid animals. It doesn't matter if the animal is herbivorous, they will change and eat human, or eat each other. According to reports, 22 zoos in America have been closed because the animals have become monsters. The team to eradicate the Godzilla invasion has succeeded in eradicating 8 of the 22 infected zoos. However, it's also reported that most of the animals in the zoo have found their way out of the zoo and roaming around the city. Likewise with pet shop. Animals, pets, birds in the air and fish in the sea. About 24 pet stores in the US have closed, and in the process of eliminating every animal there. The researchers also asked people to stay away from birds or hide if at any time a bird passes above you. Because the lethality of mutated animal attacks has been dominated by birds, the fish in the sea are also mutating. The government has made it clear not to eat fish at all. Even though the fish purchased looked fresh and had no signs of any mutation, they were still told not to consume it. Here's the data on how animals mutate.
That's swimming. He looks pissed. Alright, his cells comes out of his gills. Alright, he sees the fish. The fish passed on to something to it. The fish will return to a Godzilla hybrid. It now becomes aggressive. It attacks the lion. The lion turns into a Godzilla hybrid. Infecting spreads the virus. Fuck up looking bird now. Well, it's now passed on the virus, and now can transfer to all across the continent. What grass? You will become yep. It's contaminated. Cow eats the grass, and then that becomes a Godzilla hybrid. And then its meat is contaminated by the Godzilla mutation. And the human eats the meat. Yep. Maybe. Oh.
But it doesn't stop there. Some plants were also infected by Godzilla's flesh and mutated into monster. Plants will change and live into monsters. Although most of the plants cannot move, some manage to stretch their roots out of the ground and drag themselves to find their prey. This is a very unique thing about research on mutations in humans, animals, and plants. We find that Godzilla's flesh can heal dying people or animals, but of course it will use the dying body for its host. However, even though they are controlled as the flesh host, the person who becomes the host can be slightly aware of what is happening even though half of their mind has been taken. However, this is not a sign that the person is safe. Please stay away. Knowing that Godzilla flesh can cover and fuse bodies together, they can create a type of hybrid creature that is much more dangerous than the Godzilla flesh that is in the process of being formed in stage 3. Our team managed to capture some of these hybrids. But all of this doesn't just happen in America. Since March 21, 1994, Godzilla's flesh floats in the sea and dragged by sea waves towards land and invades the seasides throughout the world and grows or infects fish and birds that consider it as food. As a result, the animals died or, worse, mutated and invaded the surrounding area. So how do you survive these mutated creatures and plants? 1. If you meet them on the street, quickly avoid them or find a place to hide. 2. If your pets show the characteristics or signs that we have explained earlier, kill them immediately or find someone who can kill them if you don't have the heart. 3. If your plants are mutated or trees and the like, we recommend burning them, but be careful not to cause a 4. If there is a flock of birds in the air passing above you, quickly close the doors and windows of your house so they don't come in and attack you. Or if you are outside, quickly find a place to hide and please do not make any noise. 5. If you find 6. Don't depend on the police to deal with all this. Because you don't know which police are going to help you.
Oh. Welcome to the German Godzilla Invasion Sin. fucking next day. What the fuck? It has the logo juice. Dentist help update. What?
We have an important report for our beloved Mr. Philip Denver. After Adam Kennedy and Gilbert Johnson were reported missing from our bunker in Norfolk 3 months ago, we received news from our community in Indonesia. They report that Adam and Gilbert have signed into Sam's community. It seems they brought a lot of samples of Godzilla meat to Indonesia a few months ago. And now, we find them creating giant cocoons on Sumatra in Indonesia. However, don't worry, Mr. Denver. Most of the animals that are mutated due to Godzilla's radiation are unable to grow perfectly and cannot exceed the size of our Godzilla. There's only a small chance that some of the mutated animals can evolve perfectly like Godzilla. We're also in the process of catching Adam and Gilbert so we can learn more about what Sam was up to the day Godzilla came to San Francisco.
Now we're gonna laugh at someone. Look at this mutation. It's spreading across the continent. This is getting bad. Like, bad. Oh, and there's something going on over there. People are running and screaming. Hi, girl. That's one way to take care of it.
I know a lot has happened to this world since the day Godzilla attacked San Francisco and killed my mom, my brother, and almost took my life. Through my father's notes from Operation Crossroad, me and my dad have researched about Godzilla, even though the government and the cult tried to isolate us from the presence of these beasts who owe my family blood.
Several residents came up to Philip, held his hand, and whispered something to him. Meanwhile, some of the residents started holding Samuel's hand and the other 3 crew members, as if hypnotizing them. Until one of the crew members had to fire a bullet into the sky to end the mess, the riot stopped. The crew found Philip, Sam, and 3 other crew members collapsed in the middle of the crowd. A symbol was attached to their hands. This symbol. The 5 crew members were unconscious for 2 days. When they started to enter the island, Dad found a cave. A small cave containing ancient paintings. In the cave, there are many human and animal skeletons. The smell of the cave was very awful and very, very dirty. According to what my father could interpret from the paintings, around that island, there lived a large monster which they called Godzilla. This creature is worshipped by some of the residents. They even sacrifice family members or animals to worship this monster.
What?
The painting on the far side of the cave shows that the creature is sleeping under the sea near the island. My dad didn't believe it at first, thinking it was a myth. Until one night, Philip woke up and went into my dad's room. Dad said that Philip looked blank. He had never seen him like that. Philip didn't answer Dad's question at all, but he talked about the monster. That monster, the people there believe in its existence. Philip said that he, Sam, and the 3 other crew members had been mentioned by the only remaining Godzilla cult on the island as a representation of the 5 men who they believed were the 5 men who would awaken the monster to return to land, going to sweep away everything Satan has built on this planet and turn it back to the days of Godzilla's reign. Only those who were born from his flesh will remain and worship him as they believed in the past. It's his sacred flesh that forms all kinds of living creatures that we see today. After that, Philip also said that those people said that he would lead all the people formed by the flesh of the monster, and this was proven in a vision he saw that he was part of, the creation of that creature, the first creation. Dad called the other crew and calmed Philip and the other 4 crew members who were shouting, "All hail Godzilla." He wrote down when Philip said all those things from his mouth. He felt the emptiness on Philip's face, as if it were hypnotizing him too. He felt cold and wondered how Philip could understand the language of the people there. The night after the bomb exploded, the creature came and attacked our ship, Godzilla. The incident claimed the lives of dozens of crew members. What my father remembers is that he said that he heard the 5 crew members who were hypnotized by the cult shouting, "All hail Godzilla." After our ship arrived in America, Philip and the 4 crew members were reported missing. Dad tried calling and looking for him many times. However, no one knows their whereabouts. They vanished, as if swallowed by the earth. Until the creature returned to San Francisco, killing dozens of local residents, including my mother and brother. When the creature approached people's houses, my mother, my brother, and I tried to save ourselves by car. However, we don't think that's such a bad idea. The creature swung its tail, throwing our car. Mom died right there. My brother and I are still alive. I managed to get out of the car. I was scared I couldn't speak. I ran to help my brother. But the creature walked towards our car. I was scared, so I ran away from my brother. The creature crushed the car. I still can't forget that incident. How stupid of me not to have acted sooner. This feeling of regret haunted me for years. I lived at my grandma and grandpa's house. 2 months later, after the incident, my dad went to my grandpa's house. I saw the relief in his eyes when he saw that I'm okay. During that day, Dad spoke with his grandpa and grandma, who explained all the events. From that day, my father began to obsess with this creature. Dad never played with me. He only had time with me twice when we went to the mall. One night, when I was going to sleep, my father came to my room and said that he had to go to end his suffering. I don't understand what my father talking about. From that night, we never saw Dad again. Until 4 years later, one summer morning, Dad returned carrying a bag and a box full of documents. For that week, Dad was finally able to spare his time for us. That week, my father was always beside me, never leaving me. My father never explained where he went during those 4 years. He always avoided talking about what he was doing during that time. Until one night, my father came to my room again, like the night he left me for those 4 years. I asked Dad, "Where are you going?" Dad didn't answer me. He hugged me and left me a message, "Be a good boy. Pursue what you want to pursue." I held him tightly, begging him not to leave me again. Dad took me to his room and showed me the monsters will probably hatch in 2 months from now. We must be prepared to take the consequences and prepare for all the traps now.
Is the Denver cult, aka the Godzilla cult. This cult has existed for hundreds of years. According to the cult's beliefs, Godzilla was the first god to breathe in this planet. Then other gods were created. Ghidorah is Godzilla's biggest competitor. Mothra, Rodan, Kumonga, and dinosaurs. After the birth of the four gods, Godzilla had a competitor to maintain the balance of nature. Ghidorah burned and attacked other Godzillas, trying to take control of Godzilla's territory, likewise with other gods, seizing territory. These five gods continued to clash for centuries, until the end, annihilation. Godzilla survived his annihilation, but all that remains of his species is one Godzilla, the Godzilla we are facing today. However, according to some beliefs, cultists believe that Ghidorah may still be hiding somewhere. After that, a new era began. The parts of Godzilla's flesh that were hit by the meteor began to develop and take on new forms, human and animal. The cultists say that not just random people can enter their community. Only people who, according to their vision, are people created by Godzilla's flesh can join them. The whole concept of this cult is killing the demons to lead descendants of the gods to start life on Earth from scratch, and worshipping Godzilla like they believed in hundreds of years ago. Then, who is the devil? This cult believes in very mystical things. They believe that all of us who are not part of Godzilla's flesh are demons from another dimension who saw and took their form to build everything we have today in order to one day kill Godzilla.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do now.
As the demons start building new things and calling Godzilla a monster. Godzilla left the area controlled by Satan and swam towards the Pacific Ocean, where there's more humans believed in Godzilla. However, according to the vision of these cultists, 5 men will come who are among the descendants of the first humans created by Godzilla's flesh, and will come to turn the world back to Godzilla's teachings. Yes, that is Philip Denver, Samuel Carter, and the 3 crew members Ryan, Frank, and Adam. Yup, and that happened. Dad noted that after they finished the Operation Crossroads, the cultists in America immediately wanted to meet them and appoint them as leaders of this Godzilla cult over the entire world. Yes, this Godzilla cult has many connections. They're all over the world. Part of their ritual is offering their child to Godzilla as a form of gratitude and penance for the world. They successfully carried out the ritual on November 30th, 1993. All the children of the Godzilla cult followers sacrificed themselves to board the cruise ship, which was then attacked by Godzilla, killing all the passengers except for one woman, who is now being held by the cultists. However, how could they predict that Godzilla would attack there? Monster Discovery was once part of the cult, held by Samuel Carter and Philip as his assistants. This organization not built to look for rare animals, other monsters, or UFOs like that. But this organization is built for one point, specifically looking for Godzilla. For years, they looked for Godzilla everywhere, until they found Godzilla in the Atlantic Ocean. They bombed him and woke him up. Then, what happened to the world at this time? His flesh spreading all over the world and turned everything into monsters. However, Sam didn't want his kids to die and be sacrificed on the cruise ship. He loves his kids to death. With the death of his kids, Sam's relationship with the cult began to strain. Sam begins to lean towards believing in the alternative story told by the other cult. They believe that Godzilla is a demon that waked to end everything that breathes on this earth. In this way, Sam and Philip's relationship began to deteriorate when Philip left the organization. Apart from that, Philip has got what he really wanted, namely waking up Godzilla. Sam has called me many times since this Godzilla invasion started happening. He wants me to help him with his operation. The operation I mentioned was very dangerous and could kill many more people. Sam's idea to kill Godzilla is to recreate Mothra and Rodan to evolve and kill Godzilla. However, they were worried that it wouldn't work because the Mothra and Rodan they created were only made from animals mixed with Godzilla meat. So it is very likely that these replicas will experience disabilities from flying or even have difficulty living, because there is a small possibility that hybrids can be as big as Godzilla without experiencing serious disabilities. Then, why not just use a mutated Godzilla as Godzilla's opponent? Godzilla can recognize his
those calls were just a trap from Philip to lure me into giving everything I had to him, and he would destroy it. So what is the true origin of Godzilla? Godzilla is not the god that the cults believe in. However, Godzilla is a type of ancient reptilian dinosaur. Previously, Godzilla was the size of a T-Rex. Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, and Kumonga were also prehistoric animals. Scientists have found their fossils all over the world, but decided to hide them. Not because of the fossils, but because of something related to Antarctica. The creature managed to save itself from the Chicxulub meteor, which wiped out all the dinosaurs. The Godzilla survived and lived in the water for billions of years. Until the end, the Crossroads operation woke him up and made him very angry. His entire body was contaminated by radiation, and he began to mutate. The creature followed our ship. From there, Godzilla began to continue to evolve with radiation, where the body must continuously consume radiation during its growth period before entering a long hibernation period at the bottom of the sea. But the cultists came and woke him up and took him to the U.S., bringing the world to annihilation.
この謎の物体または生物は今朝3時から出現しており、この謎の物体が攻撃する可能性があるため、警察官は海岸周辺の住民を避難させています。
はいだな。
According to the latest data released by Monster Discovery, the Godzilla meat extermination operation has succeeded in destroying 45% of Godzilla's meat that has spread throughout the U.S. since November last year. We can see from last March that there's a drastic decrease of Godzilla meat and the mutants in New York and the surrounding area. Meanwhile, cases of infected humans, animals, food, and plants are also starting to going down. Monster Discovery also said that this operation wasn't going quickly not because just from the help of their team, but they also said that they're helped by a giant flower creature that had eaten Godzilla in Staten Island on April 2nd. The creature mysteriously surrounds the area covered by Godzilla's flesh and consumes it by merging into its body so that its body grows bigger and bigger every time it consumes it. Strangely, this giant flower monster seemed friendly and didn't attack residents at all or damage the city. It has passed through dense settlements several times and has not caused chaos like we know from other mutants. The media also began to highlight this creature as a hope for the world to fight back against Godzilla. Japan was attacked by giant mud monster on last Saturday. Signs of the creature's appearance began with a drastic decrease in the number of pieces of Godzilla meat and sea animals in Japanese Ocean. Hundreds of residents needed special care after being exposed to the mysterious smoke that comes from the monster when it flies. Others were seriously injured due to drops of rubbish and mud dripping from the monster. Before it returns to the sea, it roared for half an hour and answered by Godzilla and his mutants and even the giant flower throughout the world. But besides all the roars of the mutants, in Argentina and New Zealand, we can hear another very loud sound coming from the Antarctica. Monster Discovery said it wasn't the sound of Godzilla or any of its mutants. The government has managed to track down Godzilla. It was reported that Godzilla had been in North Pacific Ocean since last March. The government says that they're already preparing to exterminate the real Godzilla. They said that they're ready to fight back against Godzilla, who had killed millions of people.
Welcome everybody. I know this week was really crazy. Yesterday our facility was attacked again by the Denver squad, and we get the news that much many water are going to hatch faster than we previously thought. The giant mud monster attacked Japan, and we have lost 32 workers from the Godzilla interrogation operation. The other 20 people were still missing, and Miss Jen, I'm so sorry for the loss of your husband. He's really brave and very hardworking man.
Thank you, Mr. Summer.
Okay, back to the meeting, everybody. The reason I'm calling you all to this meeting, we can't decide about the existence of this new wood monster, because its presence is really dangerous, and looking how much damage this creature has caused in Japan. And now, according to data from our team in Pacific Ocean, the attack the creature is now spreading towards the US. So, before we discuss it in depth, Steve, can you explain the origin of this creature that lab team says people already found out how this creature exists in the first place?
Okay, Mr. Sam. So, it all started with the first group attack in our facility, where astronomicals were done all forward. Experiments, and as we know, water has been burned by the attack at the moment. Water was still in her papa. After we observed the CCTV footage of this incident, actually, water didn't burn to death as we thought. But somehow, water managed to escape from her papa and finally found out the facility. All we can assume is examine in sea and into marine animals, wood, and urban garbage. More and more also become a pile of living garbage and corpses. Its body is constantly fused with everything that passed, causing the pollution to be very different from other mutants or hybrids that live in Earth. So, the conclusion is this giant would come from our planetary water that burn and fly into the sea fused with garbage and marine animals and become this one creature? Yeah, simply like that, and it's different from the other mutants. This wood monster is getting its energy from pollution and garbage. Interesting. But you can see from its attack on Japan, part of its body easily falling down, and even melting when it shot its laser, indicates how fragile its body is. So, according to our research, if we threw a bomb at it, the heat of the bomb would easily melt the whole body. Great. Thanks for the information, Steve. So, yeah, what about the day for cool and facilities now? Well, facilities now safe, even though we've lost our workers there. Most right now that are fine, and according to our prediction, there's a possibility that they're gonna have about 3 more days or maximum of a week. So we really have to get ready to carry out our plan. And what about Connor? I think we're gonna run out of time waiting for an answer from him. I've been trying to get him in a box since yesterday. I haven't gotten any answers from him.
Mr. Sam, I'm sorry to interrupt, but our team said we didn't see him at all in his house. We didn't even see his car. And then he's gone from his house. Mr. Sam, I know how much you love Connor and feel guilty about your involvement with Chris last day. There's no time left to be gentle and lose trust in him. We found all along and we need the oxygen destroyer now.
I've been working on it. I want you to track where he's at.
Our team actually got some information about where he is. We found him around Minnesota.
Minnesota? What's he doing there? It's very dangerous there. We really need to find him as soon as possible. Don't let him fall into the hands of the cults.
Okay, Mr. Sam.
Okay,
Back to the general update. Last night, our team got some new information about their plan.
Oh.
When one creature was about to return to land, it roared and summoned all the Godzillas and mutants on Earth. However, in reality, it was the Denver cult that lured the creature to roar with the help from Ashley. They had known about this monster's existence for weeks before the creature attacked Japan. So they trained Ashley to convert her signal with this monster because they knew that the creature would eventually come up to land to find food, just like Godzilla. And when the monster reached land, they wanted the creature to roar so that it would lure Godzilla to ASEAN and kill the creature, but also so that Godzilla would destroy Asia and invade in the US. This information was told by one of the members of the death on the attack on the facility in Sumatra. We interviewed them one by one, and the only information they want to tell us is that
Where the hell is Ashley? That poor woman shouldn't be on her side.
the demons are afraid of it. Not just because they can call Godzilla and ASEAN to destroy it, but because all the mutants on this earth are shouting constant horror, and it seems that all either in Antarctica. But Mr. Sam, is it possible Kingdom has think? I hope so. But earlier in the vision that I saw, and I still feel it. I can feel it somewhere. The sound of its madness submerged by all blast of the wind. Wind. Where's the man? Is it still not facility?
She treated since she moved to her aunt's house and followed. But despite that, we're still watching and looking after her.
That's good. weeks ago, she said about finding different signals. Did she feel the signal from
Teraz cleaning up when bridges were laid, the animals to get in touch with the flower much stronger than previous weeks. She also said that she felt some uncertainty outside of Godzilla and silent flower creature. So there's the possibility that she could get in contact with a giant monster.
interesting? I think I have an idea. We have in fact two new monsters that said were very strong enough and had their own physical powers. I think with the existence of these two creatures, we no longer need water for that. First, because I'm really not sure if the prototype of water that is going to born will be perfect. The hope is there is the fact and we have to experiment in waiting for months for them to develop again. So if we already have these two new monsters, why do we need to develop water for them? But if Stephanie can control the two monsters and let them hit like she did with the Motas on Long Island, or we could trap them all and make them face to face. We know Godzilla doesn't like huge creature that doesn't look like him or anything. That's a good suggestion, Mr. Shan.
I think that's a lot better.
So, if we don't need more time for them anymore, what are you going to do with them? Work them to make monsters halfway in the world. So, do we still need enough oxygen strength? Of course, we need it. I'm afraid those stories need to be done in the tree. What story? There are clocks about the clocks. He felt the lip. Architect felt the eating Sumatra, and he felt the dead man in Gilbert. Are there enough people left to fight to destroy those factories? Why do you guys keep firing? Why are they so weak? That, and Adam and Gilbert are fast in those depressed everywhere. Stop asking. What should we do, Mr. Gilbert? What should we do? Should I just work harder to turn people who can't apart? They need to get us as soon as possible. If they know the track where cars, they found him going to Minnesota. Minnesota, he wants me to sign. We didn't know that, but they already know he brought the original sea destroyer from his house. Well, it will definitely get it. I don't think that should. I want to tell the heart for a moment. Okay. Ashley, how are you? Ashley. Ashley, I'm talking to you.
What do you want me to say? Do you know how painful the body is now?
Thank you for a hard work, Ashley. I really appreciate it. Can you recover about you to try?
No. You can tell the illness pain.
Well,
How to be disturbed today?
I was at the end of the complex block right of Mr. Denver's house. I woke up after hearing people screaming outside. As soon as I arrived at my complex, I saw corpses all of street, but I didn't see the infected human. However, I saw a big truck and around 7 people got out of the truck. They're all dressed in black robes like cults. Not long after that, Mr. Denver and his wife came out of the house and the 7 people bowed down to Mr. Denver. I don't know what happened, so I decided to hide. Not long, the truck left and the police came.
That shit. Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to sorry, please. What should kill me? Show me! Show me the fucker!
Oh, something just woke up. She doesn't want to hurt you. I like your Hi! How you doing, Martha? You having fun? Okay, bye! Have fun! Sticking off ahead of me. Oh shit! Being struggling. Oh. Ooh. That got hurt. I think you're gonna make this one, Heather. Yeah, now stay there. Good job, you two. That was it.
Hello, Stephanie. How are you today? I'm doing great. So, I know you're here again after you've been trying to hurt yourself for these past few weeks. Yeah. Okay, so last week we talked about everything that happened to you and you said that you're doing great. And can you please tell me how you ended up in this bad situation again? Well, it's just a lot of pressure, tons of pressure. The last 2 weeks I've been able to handle it, but this week it's been out of my control. Yeah, and it's still the same. All of my friends still hate me, always avoiding me and spreading bad rumors about me and telling everyone to stay away from me. And all of my best friends are still avoiding me. At this point, I know they're never going to look at me the same way again. They hate me. Stephanie, I'm so sorry to hear that. So you've tried everything to tell them the truth, but they still misunderstand you? Yeah, and what's really been stressing me out lately is monster discovery. I know how important I am to the organization, but lately they've been putting too much pressure on me to constantly activate my power to connect with the monsters. Using those powers is so painful. You can hear all the horrible things from all the mutants and the painful fate of the innocent people. It makes me so sad when I use them. Sometimes, even though I don't activate it, I can still hear the voices in my head, screams, cries, and all those horrible things. And then, it's too much for me. Sometimes when those voices hit my head, I feel like I better kill myself. It wasn't that bad, but I don't know. This week, everything's been really messed up. So that's what's making you to hurt yourself. Yeah. Because every time I go out, people start making fun of me for the spikes on my shoulders. And yesterday, I just wanted to hang on, so I tried to cut them off, but it's hard. Addiction makes everything worse. But when my own came in at the right time, I got an emergency call from Mr. Carter.
Wake up. Be alright. Oh, jeez. What time is it? 9 a.m. Oh, fuck. Everyone left. Wait. Is that your dad left a note for you? You okay, man? Yeah,
I'm fine. It's just, wow. It's just everything that me and my parents had been through. What a roller coaster ride. Oh my god, I feel it so much. I'm sorry for your loss, man. I still don't get how you ended up on the same street where Philip lives. Well, he showed up 1 month before the attack, and I don't have any single clue that it's Philip Denver that is expecting me. Besides that, I don't know where to live. After that huge argument with my dad, my life is a mess, dude. Even before the huge, same son. My life is a mess, dude. I've always been in danger since my dad died. That cult is always watching me and constantly attacking me every single day. Here's the tape explaining everything about how all of these things happen. I hope this helps you to understand more. Thanks, man. And thank you again for saving my life. Many times. No problem, man. Now, can you tell me where's the helicopter? Oh yeah, sure. I don't know if this still works or not, but here we go. Are you sure the oxygen striker can kill Godzilla? Trust me, son, I've been experiencing that small piece of the bomb several times with the small mutants. It did work. Well, I hope so. Do you still remember how to ride a helicopter? Yep.
Golden cage. Grab A, B, C, engage. Okay, someone's coming. Up. Something going on that G. Oh, Godzilla virus. Spreading to the main gate. Main gate. Oh shit. Yep. Everything's fucked. Denver market has been.
How long are we going to wait? Connor? Are you okay? I'm sad. I have a bad feeling. I feel like there's something bad about to happen. Connor, why do you say that? Since my first contact with Godzilla, I mean, he's already messing up your body. What the fuck?
Get yeet on, asshole. Let's get me fucking around. What angle is doing that? Let's do something. Better, bitch! Damn! Oh!
Kilometer
What the fuck was that? Going Godzilla. Alright, he's over there. Unknown. Yeah, that's Ghidorah. Godzilla. Oh, that one is bigger. Well, that was the amazing Godzilla. And it was terrifying. I kind of liked it. Now, I'll be doing the POV one of where other things happen that's not mentioned in the Camp Godzilla story. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.